Thank you, Zamir, our chairman for this morning. Senator the Honorable Fazal Karim, Minister of Tertiary Education and Skills Training, Dr. Dax Driver, CEO of the Energy Chamber, Mr. Rafael Mohammed, Registrar of the National Energy Skills Center, Mr. Harris Khan, Project Manager, EICDI, Mr. Roger Packer, President, Managing Director, Tucker Energy Services, Neil Mohammed, Training Coordinator, Human Resources, Atlantic, and Mr. Douglas Boyce, Managing Director, Hull Support, my fellow governors who are here with us this morning, and we have Roshan Babra from Petrotrin, who's involved in the sector, Mr. Namdev Maraj as well, who's involved in the sector, and of course, Brother Michael just offered the open prayer. Dr. Fazal Ali, our Provost and Acting President, Dr. Ajay John, our Associate Professor, Process Engineering, Dr. Marian Watson, Program Leader, Process Engineering Unit, of course, Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Zamir Mohammed, who is the Assistant Vice President and leads our Professional Education Unit. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, invited guests, good morning. And on behalf of the Board of Governors, let me welcome you to UTT's 2013 Energy Workshop, Developing our Local Human Resource for a Diversified and Growing Energy Industry. I'm told that this is the first time in the history of the Energy Conference that UTT is involved to this extent, and I want to congratulate Zamir. Our Vice President, Marketing and Business Development, is otherwise occupied with another project this morning, but this is part of the whole thrust of UTT as an entrepreneurial university to get more closely involved, as close as we possibly can, to industry and to the backbone of our economy. Unlike the traditional concept of a university being hidden behind the cloistered walls, so to speak, the whole idea of the entrepreneurial university is one that is totally integrated with the community, with the society, with the challenges as well as the opportunities and the potential. According to statistical data as published in the January-February issue of the Energy magazine, and I quote, Trinidad and Tobago's energy sector growth for 2012 was anchored by strong upstream performance, a near 100% replacement of our gas reserves, a continuing diversification of our gas export portfolio, and a well-subscribed deepwater bid round. We are all well aware of the role that the energy sector has played as the backbone of our local economy, and Trinidad and Tobago is in fact a major petrochemical hub and the world's foremost exporter of ammonia and methanol. It is quite fitting, therefore, that today, as the National University of Trinidad and Tobago, we partner with the energy sector to have some dialogue on the development of our human resource for this expanding sector. A couple years ago, through my own private company, I took a boot and I was involved here. And I think that year, if I'm not mistaken, the theme was entrepreneurship. And mulling around the crowd and so on, it struck me that while for our entire history we have relied on fossil energy to fuel our economy, and that it has brought us thus far the economic prowess and success that Trinidad and Tobago enjoys, that as we look towards the future, it is human energy that will really propel us into the future in this age of knowledge and information and intellectual capital. So I think it's quite fitting that the university, as Zamir mentioned earlier on, being what it is in terms of human resource development, and I know Minister will speak to you a lot more on that, will partner with the sector in terms of human resource development. As I mentioned before, as an entrepreneurial university, and as Trinidad and Tobago's first national university, UTT is forging strategic alliances with industry and relevant stakeholders through academia and research, which are linked to solving national concerns. In fact, it was in seeking out novel collaborations within our sphere of tertiary education and training that the idea of the Energy Institute of Trinidad and Tobago first took root. And of course, UTT's genesis comes from the National Energy Skills Center and the launch of the the Trinidad and Tobago Institute of Technology at Point Lisas, which became our first campus. Only last year in May, UTT signed a memorandum of understanding with the National Energy Skills Center to establish the Energy Institute of Trinidad and Tobago and launched the rebranded Point Lisas Energy Campus. The EITT, which is housed at the campus, allows persons the opportunity to train and to explore further academic pursuits in energy-related undergraduate and postgraduate programs under one institute, essentially creating a one-stop shop for energy training and tuition within Trinidad and Tobago. Our vision as well, I remember the launch of that Energy Institute, chatting with one of the CEOs from the Point Lisas estate and asking what could UTT do to improve what we do. And he said to me, look, in industry, things move very quickly. And sometimes a university's curriculum might quickly become outdated, and so you need to keep in touch. And indeed, one of the visions that we have for the entire university, but in particularly the Energy Institute, and indeed all of the sectors in which we operate in maritime, in agriculture, at ECIAF, is to understand where the industry is going, where the economy is going, what are government's policy positions. And I would really like to see our Energy Institute evolve into a leading authority on the sector, from the research and the exploration right downstream to where it reaches the consumer, from the government players in the market to the international players who are involved, to the service sector, to every sector of the industry. And this is a challenge, this is a vision, this is where UTT is going. Today, Mr. Raphael Mohammed, who is the Registrar of NEC as well, and UTT's own Dr. Marian Watson will share some further insights on this collaborative venture. Last year as well, UTT entered into a memoranda of agreement with India's leading petroleum university, the Pandit Dindayal Petroleum University. And this was signed during the official state visit to India by this country's Prime Minister, the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa, in 2012, as well as an MOU with state-owned Petrotrin, which was signed later in this year. These facilities all work together to further improve the energy sector through education and training, two factors which work hand in hand to develop the human capital for the nation's energy sector. Today I also refer to the Energy Chamber's Energy Industry Competency Development Initiative, which is led by Harris Khan, which supports the local energy services sector companies to become more competitive. This too, ladies and gentlemen, is a leading initiative towards the establishment of a better trained and certified workforce. Ladies and gentlemen, again, let me take this opportunity to welcome you to this morning's important discussions on developing our local human resource for a diversified and growing energy industry, as I once more pledge UTT's support and commitment in leading the academic and research movement which is necessary in realizing this imperative. And let me as well congratulate the UTT team for getting to this stage, and I hope that this will become a permanent feature, Zamir and the rest of the UTT staff here, of the Energy Conference. Thank you very much.